Hey guys, although this is our first video, we were initially preparing a video on the topic of historical materialism. We put that project on hold, however, for the purpose of bringing you this message. Dark times are ahead. With the results of the United States general election placing Donald Trump as the new president-elect of the United States, we felt compelled to discuss recent events surrounding this threat to women, people of color, immigrants, Muslims, and the working class as a whole. As you probably already know, the Republican Party has not only won the presidency, but it has also won the US Senate and the US House. Once president, Trump will be able to appoint the ninth Supreme Court Justice, giving the Supreme Court a Republican majority. This will mean that the entire US government will be filled to the gills with Republicans, effectively nullifying whatever checks and balances our American forefathers put into place, and practically transforming the nation into a one-party state. Although it arguably has been one for some time now, given the lack of diversity a two-party system offers, but that is a subject for another time. This means that if Donald Trump, or more importantly, Mike Pence, wanted to undo some of President Obama's policies regarding transgender bathrooms, LGBTQ rights, Obamacare, etc., he could do so and there would be no one to stop him. This result was not unforeseen. Noam Chomsky in 2010 predicted this election almost play-by-play. I have pasted the quote below. Members of the alt-right being a reactionary code word for neo-fascism, view Trump's victory as a victory for the white race and for the far-right in general. They have taken to the streets, and there are reports of widespread harassment directed towards homosexuals and people of color, immigrants and Muslims, including beatings and bar fights, racist graffiti, and the murder of a Saudi student in Wisconsin. These developments in the US run concurrent with similar developments in Europe, which have been going on for over a year as a reaction to the refugee crisis. Immigrants in Europe have been beaten, killed, and generally discriminated against as right-wing politics and sentiment has risen. These developments have seen the rise of the National Front in France, the departure of Britain from the European Union, the establishment of brutal anti-immigrant gangs across Europe, and countless other telltale right-wing elements. The right-wing opponents of these immigrants in Europe claim that they're only trying to protect their countries from rapists and criminals. It's worth remembering, however, that the scale of the damage done by refugees who commit criminal acts tends to pale in comparison with, say, the number of assaults committed by police officers against ordinary citizens, or the level of sexual violence against women on university campuses perpetrated by domestic white male students. The level of scrutiny given to the violent crime of a tiny minority of desperate refugees is completely out of proportion when compared to the normalized violence already committed by groups who escape proper examination by the media. It is clear that the alt-right is not concerned with the well-being of women in their country. This is obvious from the fact that they rally behind a clearly misogynist candidate who has gloated about sexual assault. They are not concerned with the well-being of their country either. Instead, they seem to be out defending their country's racial purity, cultural hegemony, and traditional gender roles. This is not an issue of immigrants being opposed because they commit more crimes. Rather, it is an issue of the right wing making the situation into an us versus them thing. That is, a racist thing. We must be vigilant and watchful against the right's divisive tactics. We must be prepared to organize now while countless disillusioned Democrats and Republicans alike search for something better than what they've been dealt by the establishment. There is no revolution without the masses, and there is no time more essential than now to get to them, before the fascists do. Leftists of all kinds should be organizing now more than ever. Here we have provided the names of common leftist organizations to join. This list includes social democratic and democratic socialist parties who fall outside of the range of the revolutionary socialist parties, because we believe that in times like this we must appeal to the widest possible degree of people. Even social democratic parties can be an effective way of introducing disaffected and disillusioned liberals to left politics. After all, the left saw its biggest influx of newcomers in a long time, as a result of Bernie Sanders' social democratic platform, and many of them have since become radicalized. We must leave divisive sectarianism behind if we are to effectively organize and strengthen our position in the face of the growing right-wing tide.